Hey guys, this is Peg City, and what you're seeing right here is Call of Duty Infinite Warfare after they made the beta changes. And they have listened to us. They took jetpacks out, they took out the wall running, they took us back in time. No, they definitely didn't. But a man can dream, can he? Anyways, what I want to talk to you about is the competitive esports rules that were released this week. I think it was on Wednesday. So we'll just get right into it. They are going to take out the ban and protect system that was in place for Black Ops 3, which isn't a huge deal, I don't think, because they are going to add in some base bans just right off the bat. So we'll get to some of those later, or some of the ones that I think are in place because of what I saw. And then they will be adding in a rig draft. So basically, you're going to have to pick different people on your team and decide who's going to be rolling with different rigs. So you can't all just be rolling with Synaptic as and then having Rewind as your payload, which is obvious. That would be completely unfair. But the confusing thing is they call it a draft. However, when you watch the gameplay between the competitive matches that they had during the esports reveal, the other team was allowed to have similar loadouts. So I don't really understand how that's a draft when you're basically just picking the people for your own team. It's more of like a team decision, I would think. But anyways, moving on. They're going to add something new, though, that I'm sure a lot of people are going to have mixed feelings about, and that is a weapon draft. So essentially, you can't just have everyone running around with overpowered AR and an overpowered sub. You're going to have to pick. So basically, each teammate gets to pick two guns that they're going to have for that series. And by series, I believe they mean like an entire round of search and destroy, or not just an entire round, but an entire game of search and destroy, best of 6. So basically, if I'm an AR guy, I might take the K-bar so that when I'm on offense, I can push harder, be more aggressive. But then once I switch over to defense, I could maybe use that sniper rifle that turns into an AR so that I can maybe get a pre-snipe off and then sit back and try and watch the bomb site. But then no one else on the team will be able to use the K-bar or that sniper that I was just talking about, whatever it's called. And I think this is a really cool idea because it's going to make people think more about where they're placing themselves depending on which gun they're using. However, I'm not sure if it's actually going to come into play as much as the developers would like. Also, I'm not really sure how this draft works because while I was watching the competitive matches, other teammates had the exact same weapons. So basically, it's just a draft between your own team to decide who gets what two guns for the entire series, which does not seem like a draft once again, but maybe I'm missing something. One cool thing I did notice is that one of the guys playing was using the ACR, or the ACR remake. I forget what they call it in this game. But that means that potentially all the classic guns are available for competitive play. So next up, I was going to talk about the game modes that we saw. Hardpoint, Search and Destroy, and Uplink were the three that were played during the esports reveal. Not too shocking. Both of these, or all three of these, have been pretty popular lately in esports. Basically, all the rules remain the same. All the timers are about the same. The only difference is in Hardpoint, there's now going to be a 2.5 second respawn delay. This isn't a huge change. However, if you get a team wipe, for example, it's going to give you that much more time to really set up and watch over the Hardpoint so you can take it all the way down to 0. So the three maps we saw played were Frost, Throwback, and Mayday. Frost and Throwback were in the beta, so you probably played them, or you've at least seen them. And then Mayday is a newer map that they just introduced during the esports reveal. And I'll put up a picture of it. It looks like a pretty good map, very symmetric, so that will be awesome when it comes to competitive play. So the next thing I want to talk about is the rigs. And I honestly don't like rigs. I don't think they should be in the game, or not the competitive game at least. However, they will for sure be in. And I've made a little graphic for you. Basically, all the green boxes you see are confirmed loadouts or payouts and traits that I saw within the competitive matches. So those are for sure going to be allowed for competitive gameplay as of version 1 for the eSports rules. Then the red ones, I highly doubt they'll add because I think that'd be way too overpowered. And the gray ones, I'm sure they might leave in, but I don't think anyone will use them because they're either not very good or way too easy to play around. And if you didn't already notice, the striker has been completely eliminated from eSports play, or at least I believe it has. I did not see anyone playing with him, and after reading about his abilities, he seems way too overpowered. I don't think there's any room for him in the competitive playlist. And that's all I have for you today. But make sure to slap that subscribe button if you want to stay posted on Infinite Warfare Esports.